the way that these models understand language is currently limited to predefined use cases. That's why Alexa or Google Voice will tell you, I can't do that yet. I think it's going to be quite interesting over the next few years to see translations of research from the artificial neural network space into the biological neural network space.
What use cases you see that the technology today cannot solve, and what do you expect is going to be solved in the next 10 years?
What we found is that chatbots for interrogating the data that customers put into Audit Map is not very good. People either have a very bad experience right away where they try and ask it to do something complicated and then it fails, or they assume that it's too simple and they're too annoyed to use it and they want to use the user interface. So user acceptance of chatbots across all of the AI industry has not been very good. It's being deployed because it saves money compared to using humans, but in a high-end product like Audit Map, you don't want to include technology that annoys people. And so chatbots are not a solved problem just yet.
How would the chatbot help the auditor? It basically would be an assistant, something that helps them, like they can ask the questions and so on. You cannot do that.
No, the reason is that this is a very context-rich area, and chatbots work on entities and intents. And the intents that auditors want to use have multiple entities and multiple contexts. And it's kind of too much for the user, not for the AI, but for the user to comprehend. And so when you call into a voice system for a bank, let's say, you have a very, very specific use case in mind. But when you're talking to a set of audit documents, you don't have a very tight use case. And that broad, it's called a question answering system, is not very performant right now. There's a lot of research models if you look up question answering systems. Stanford has some wonderful models, but the way that these models understand language is currently limited to predefined use cases. That's why Alexa or Google Voice will tell you, I can't do that yet.
So what we will see, you think, in the next 5 years that will solve this problem? Do you expect to put these chatbots in your products in the next 5 years?
I don't know. I honestly don't. And people who are very definitive about what's going to happen in the next 5 years probably don't know what they're talking about. Transformers are very interesting. There's been some new developments in the technology and it's continuously improving, but it's not ready yet for us to do an integration. It's not strong enough. It may not be, or it might be. I don't know yet. Let's see what the future holds.
What it is that doesn't work today is the algorithm only, or it's the computational power as well?
I think it's the algorithms themselves. They don't contain enough context. There's something called a vanishing gradient problem, where if you have a long sequence, it's difficult to remember what happened before. Unfortunately, people think that this is solved. It is not solved. There are these endemic issues that we've known about since the 1980s that haven't gone away. We've just managed to find some use cases where we can fix it, and which is amazing. But those use cases are narrow. And broad use cases, like general understanding, like HAL from the movie Space 2000, that kind of AI is not a thing. That's not in existence, and I don't know when it's coming. But if it does, we'll use it.
What is an area where you don't work in AI, where you expect great things coming up, or where you would like to see great things coming up?
Sure. So I have an interest in biological neural networks, and I think it's going to be quite interesting over the next few years to see translations of research from the artificial neural network space into the biological neural network space. We're getting things like CRISPR that are very good at gene editing at the low-level stuff. At what point will we start to wire up biological neural networks to do interesting things? To do, for example, prosthetics that are alive. These are very important needs that are not theoretical. People really do need new limbs that work better. It's not there yet, but I'm excited to see what will happen in that area, given that we're starting to understand so much about how neural networks operate, or at least we're starting to realize how much we don't know.